Welcome to the Australian Business Executive Podcast, where we speak with many of Australia's most influential personalities on issues of business and economic development taking place across the country. You can stay up to date with our magazines, videos and podcasts by visiting www.theabe.tv and clicking on subscribe.
Today's guest is Dennis Wellington, Mayor of the City of Albany in Western Australia's southern tip. Mayor Wellington is born and bred in Albany. Before becoming mayor, he ran his own business for more than 20 years and in 2001 was elected onto the City Council before his election as mayor in 2011. As a city, Albany boasts a population of more than 37,000 inhabitants and is in the process of implementing a number of government grants to help achieve a range of economic development initiatives. This will see the city grow to an expected population of 50,000 by 2025. Mayor Wellington, thank you for joining us today.
Pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Albany is the recipient of grant funding to help the city with its economic development. Could you provide an explanation of these revenue streams?
Well, in Western Australia, we have a facility called Royalties for Regions, where 25% of the royalties that come out of the mining mining program in Western Australia is restricted to regional Western Australia. So, and that means we get a reasonable return on the money that comes out of the ground. And we then apply for funding for that, for our growth, etc. One of the problems with Western Australia, if you like, is that 78% of the people live in the metropolitan area, and we need to make sure that the regional cities grow and have jobs, etc., and places for our people to work and live. So Royalties for Region has been a program that has been going now for some 8 years, and it certainly has provided a boost for regional Western Australia.
Well, so how will this funding be used towards the growth of Albany?
So basically what we've got is an economic development plan which we're implementing at the moment in conjunction with our two neighbouring shires of Denmark and Plantagenet. So the three of us are getting together. Now what happens in that area is we're a major tourism destination, we're a major wine growing region, we're a major agricultural region, and Albany is the only port in Western Australia that never had a mining influence. So we've never had any of the boom and bust that's gone on with the mining. But it was certainly, with now the emphasis on tourism and agriculture, we're into the major development as far as the state is concerned. So we'll be using that to expand what we do well. We grow 26% of the state's premium wines in the Great Southern region. So that again will be further implemented, and the marketing efforts will be increased to try and expand that as well. So it's a development of the whole region as such.
There's also a number of other projects seeing investment, isn't there?
Well, there are a lot of things which will help in the development of that. Basically, one of the major things is the implementation of better roads in our region, because all of our produce comes in by truck and it comes into the port. So we need a major increase in the amount of roads that are put in place. So the South Coast Highway, the Ring Road, etc., will be increased. The other areas that we're looking at is we've just spent $27 million on the upgrade of our sporting fields, because we want our kids to get out and play sports, etc. So we have now 7 fields that are fully lit, so they can play and train at night. We have 7 indoor basketball courts, 2 indoor swimming pools, etc., and all those facilities that you need in a regional area, which helps in the development of our children, because they're the future. And that sort of funding is being used for that, as well as tourism infrastructure development.
Well, the name recognition of Albany has grown quite substantially in the last few years. What do you attribute this to?
Back in 1914, when the Australian troops left for the First World War, Albany had a population of 4,600, and there were 41,200 soldiers left Australia to go and fight in that war, and they left from Albany. So there was a flotilla of ships in the harbour here, and the last place that they saw of Australia was Albany. So what we've had done since in 2014 was a commemoration of that leaving, and the development and building of the National Anzac Centre, which is now situated in Albany. So that's a memorial to the Anzacs that went, which we believe to be one of Australia's greatest stories, and probably becoming Australia's greatest story. So that went Australia-wide and worldwide. We got immense recognition of that. We've got 100,000 people a year going through the Anzac Centre, and it is a fantastic memento to those people who enable us to live the lifestyle we live today. So that has helped, and then the city has built on it from that in terms of transformation of the main street and the tourism areas and the bars and cafes, etc., that have sprung up and around in it. So it has been a major development, that part, and we've recognised it, and the people of Albany are very proud of that process.
Oh, fantastic. Well, my final question for you is, how does Albany view itself being a smaller city in an already geographically remote state like Western Australia?
Well, that's one of the beauties of it, as well as one of the detriments, of course. I mean, Perth is the most isolated capital city in the world, and we're 400 kilometres south of that. So we need to make sure that we're well recognised. One of the beauties about Albany is the scenery that's around it. It's probably about the only part of Western Australia that isn't flat. We've got a couple of mountain ranges around here. The scenery on the south coast is fantastic. We're seen as a development for alternative energy. 78% of our energy for the town comes from wind farms. We've just been granted another $19.5 million to develop wave energy, because the ocean around here is continually on the move, so that'll be developed as well, and we believe that we could supply the whole state with energy from here, from wave movement as well, so that'll be an increase. So it's clean, it's green, 26% of the state's wine is grown in the region. It's just an ideal place to live, and the demographic is where Perth gets pretty hot. We're a very mild, temperate climate, a Mediterranean-type climate. It's a great place to live, great place to bring up kids, great schools. We've got 3 schools in the top 20 in the state, so it's just an ideal place for people to live, and we'll just want to build on that, and the recognition is coming our way.
Well, that's all I have for you today. Thank you very much for taking time out of your schedule to join us.
Pleasure. Thanks very much, Stuart. It's just been a great exercise as far as we're concerned. We're looking forward to the future and looking forward to being part and parcel of the development of Albany and the region.
This has been a production of the Australian Business Executive, a division of Romulus Rising Proprietary Limited. All rights reserved. You can stay up to date with the Australian Business Executive and our magazines, videos and podcasts by visiting www.theabe.tv and clicking on subscribe.